Behind the mic, we keep it real tight. Real stories, real people bringing truth to light. Tune in, feel the vibe, get ready for the ride. Behind the mic, your story's on the other side.
All right, everybody. Welcome to Behind the Mic. I'm your host, Mike. And today, my very first guest is a longtime friend, and he goes by Tactix. But I'm going to let him introduce himself. Tactix?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me, Mike. It's a pleasure to be here and be on the first official episode. This is crazy. Like he said, I go by Tactix. My real name is Andrew James. Tactix used to be my b-boy name or my dancer name, and it stuck with me ever since. So I can't get rid of it. So, yeah. So feel free to call me Tactix, AJ, Andrew, whichever one. I'll respond to all three. But I am now currently a massage therapist and movement specialist. I've been a massage therapist going on into my second year, but I've been doing manual therapy as a manual therapist for well over 10 years now. And that's my main bread and butter now. And now I'm just here to chat with this guy on his first of many endeavors, I guess.
Yes, yeah. So we're gonna get into your story now. So you've come to me with a story.
Mm-hmm.
Can you give us a little description as to what story you're gonna be telling us about today?
Yeah, so it's basically a story of how I started in the film industry,
Okay.
thinking that I was going to end up somewhere, big and become a big time editor or whatever. And
Yeah.
I kind of deviated from that plan.
Yeah.
Hence, I am now a massage therapist.
Yeah.
But the overarching theme of my story is don't settle for what you can get, go after what you want.
Okay.
Yeah.
And before I get you to go into it, because I personally don't know this, what did you want to get into with film? Like, what was your idea going into school and being like, okay, cool. Like, I would have to actually think of it myself. But like going into it, like, what were you like? What was your heart set on? Being like, hey, cool. Like, maybe it was this, but like, hey, like, I want to be an editor, or hey, like, I want to be videographer, photographer. What was, if you had one thing, or like, what in general, what did you want to get into going into our school?
It's a very great question. So personally, actually, I didn't really grow up with my heart set on getting into film.
Okay.
So the reason why I got into film in the first place is because, when I was younger, like my parents split before I was born.
Okay.
And so I come from a broken household. And so during that time as I was growing up, I don't know if this contributed to what they back then labeled as me having a learning disability.
Okay.
But basically that was the I guess if you can call it a diagnosis. They basically informed me that I had a learning disability, which, it showed up in the way of like me struggling with school. So I had a hard time with like reading and comprehension. I guess it's a varying form of dyslexia, and also dyscalculia, I think is what they call it, where it's like you have trouble with math. And so,
Got that big time.
yeah, I think a lot of people do. So growing up, being told at a young age that you have this learning disability, it's almost as if like, they put a ceiling on your potential and your opportunities. And so you grow up at a young age thinking that, you're never really going to amount to anything. And, I was told that constantly, whether it was directly by, my mom, unfortunately, or indirectly by like my mentors, my teachers, basically telling me that like, it's almost like they were like trying to coddle me and be like, okay, like, you're going to be applied math.
I hated hearing that.
Yeah, and it was
my
just like,
God.
it was like a super
Yeah.
embarrassing thing. And it was like, I had to wear that embarrassment all the time because, even in high school, I remember, or prior to high school when our guidance counselor, they would bring us in, 5 students at a time. And they would basically, it was kind of like a way of prepping you for transitioning from elementary school to high school, and they tell you how that process was going to go. And you either had, I don't know if it worked the same way with your school, but we had either applied or academic. And applied meant it was prepping you for like college related courses, so to a lesser degree, and then academic was prepping you for university. And so I remember being pulled into like a group of like 5 students, including myself, and the guidance counselor was pointing at everyone and being like, and giving them a sheet of paper and saying, academic, academic, academic. Then she gets to me and she's like, applied? And I was like, oh, thank you. You could have told me this in private, but okay, yeah. Embarrass
Why are
me
we in
groups?
groups?
Yeah, you know, it's like,
And why am I in this group?
yeah, you know what I mean? Like, you could have at least brought all the applied people in together, you know? Like, I know I'm not the only one.
Like,
So it was like stuff like that. And then like, I remember, you know, going into high school and like, I had like a group of friends that I would hang out with on a regular basis. And there was one girl in particular, I'm not going to out her name because I still have her on Facebook. But I remember her saying, she was looking, we were like comparing our schedules, like our class schedules.
like
And
the timetable?
The
of what they go?
timetable, yeah.
I hated those so
Good
much.
memory, right? Yeah.
I hated those
So
so much.
I remember she said this like tongue in cheek, but she was just like, "Oh, we have the exact same schedule except yours are all applied," and I was like, "Thanks for pointing that out." And so,
So you want to go out sometime?
yeah, no, definitely not. Not after that comment.
Yeah, I know. Right?
But yeah, so I had this big chip on my shoulder, and I felt very discouraged in terms of like just applying myself in general. And I because I was hearing all this stuff from like people who were supposed to be in charge of like empowering students, they were like kind of like slapping this label on you and making it seem like you were defective in some way. So it was like, okay, well, what's the point of even like applying myself academically if the ceiling is the limit for my potential? Mm-hmm. So I literally just like messed around in high school. I didn't really care about homework. I didn't really try, and I was just like, okay, what's the point? Like I'm stupid.
Yeah.
Or at least that was my thought process back then, right?
It's not going to get better for
It's
me.
not, yeah, right? So it was like, okay, well, what are some of the things that I'm good at right now currently? And it's like, I loved to dance. So dancing was my big thing. And so I was just like, okay, so just going to do that in my downtime. And dance was like my first love in a sense, like my first passion. And, you know, that's what I focused on. And then I would do the talent shows with my best friends and, you know, do all that stuff. And then we would start to like feel like my buddy, he got a camcorder. So basically we would like film stuff, right? And at the time I got really into, what was that program back then? Windows Movie Maker. Do you ever remember? Did you ever use that? I'm aging myself again, of course. Windows Movie Maker, and it was like basic editing, like
Cut,
yeah,
paste,
you know what I mean, like
drop music,
little transitions and shit, right?
Oh my god,
yeah, exactly, right?
Pixelate.
So we got really into that, and then we would film a lot of our dance videos, and I would just like cut them up, and then I just made them to like just show like our classmates and stuff like that, right? Put them on YouTube and whatnot. And then the movie The Matrix came out, and me and my buddies, we went and we watched it, and we fell in love with this movie. Like like I said, like off air, like till to this day, it's by far one of my favorite movies ever, right?
Shout out Keanu.
Yeah, exactly. Shout out, yeah. And so loved the movie, and then we got inspired by it. And like my buddy, he used to do martial arts, and I dabbled in karate a little bit, but not to like an impressive degree by any stretch.
Yeah.
But we went from filming like our dance videos to like doing like choreographed fight scenes.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So we'd create this little story, but like, oh, like you killed my girlfriend, and now I'm gonna seek exact revenge. I still have
John Wick.
I'll
starting
yeah. I still have the video, so I'll show. It's really
no.
bad quality, but if you ever want to use it as an overlay. But
I mean, maybe we'll throw a little 1-2 right here, real quick.
Yeah, and we called it the Fake Tricks. Yeah, cheesy name, but that's how much we love the Matrix, and so.
It's like Scary Movie.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like a parody of like a fight scene, a fight movie. So I got really into editing. I got really into like making these videos and like putting them up on YouTube. And before that, I thought dance was originally going to be my career. But then, obviously, like, people higher up are like, yeah, that's not really a feasible career. And, nobody really makes it as a dancer and yada, yada, yada. And I mean, I know a lot of my dancer friends who are pretty successful in the dance industry. So,
I mean, obviously not at that moment.
yeah.
But
yeah, like
us looking back, like,
yeah.
we did make that.
Oh, of course.
For the
Oh,
longest
yeah,
time.
absolutely. So then I was like, okay, well, if you're going to kill my academic dream and my dancing dream, all I have left now is just editing shit. So I decided that I was going to kind of try my hand at film and, become an editor because I loved editing my own stuff. And so eventually after high school or during my grade 12 year, I decided, well, I didn't decide. I actually failed. I was missing like a credit or two.
Okay.
So I told people that I was staying back an additional year, but really I failed. So I was forced to stay back another year. And so by that point, I had figured out that, okay, I'm going to try my hand at this film thing. And I applied to Centennial College, which is where I ultimately met you.
Yeah.
And yeah, to answer your question, that's kind of how it all started for me in terms of, oh, sorry, no, I didn't answer your question yet. So what I was hoping to get out of film and editing particularly was, to be honest, I didn't really know. I just knew that I really liked editing.
Okay.
But as I got into the industry, I realized I really only like editing my stuff. You know what I mean? And I felt like,
Because the spark's there. It's
it's
your content.
Yeah, exactly. But when you're
Content.
Yeah, but when you're editing someone else's stuff, especially like stuff that's like super basic stuff, and you can't put your own spin on it. You gotta really just follow. Yeah, it's like I want this and I want that and I want this little rain transition or this wipe transition and that's it. No special effects, no dressing it up in the way
I don't
that
want
you
to
want.
fly.
Yeah, no, none of that. So it was just like it was very monotonous work, and I realized that this was a loveless job. And the thing is, it's like my cousin actually said this to me a long time ago because I kind of followed in his footsteps because he went to film school as well.
Okay.
And
Centennial?
no, he actually went to Toronto Film School. I don't think that's a thing anymore now, but now he's an actor. He's not left the industry because it's still relative, but now he's transitioned from being behind the camera to now being in front of the camera.
I mean, in our defense, we did both too.
Yeah. Oh,
going
yeah.
through it all, right?
Yeah.
So if he was, he did go to film school.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming in that process of him transferring to an actor,
Yeah.
I feel like he did that quite a bit
Oh,
in school.
yeah,
which
yeah.
potentially could have triggered like,
Yeah.
hey, like I actually love this a lot more than doing the technical stuff.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
After I'm done on camera, my job's done.
Exactly. You get to go home. Yeah.
It's up to everybody else to
Yeah,
make me look good.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's up to us.
100%. Yeah, exactly. 100%. But
I don't want to be.
yeah, but I'll never forget what he said to me. He said, editing is a loveless job. And the reason why that is because...
And thankless.
Yes, exactly. And the reason why that is because if you do a good job, nobody notices. But if you do a bad job, everybody notices. And I'll give you an example. And you can search this up on YouTube later. And for people watching this at home as well. And because I was an editor at one point, this particular scene from this movie stands out to me every time I watch it, and it's The Amazing Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield, the first one.
I feel like there's gonna be so many up to now, so many movies
Yeah.
they'll have like this.
Oh yeah,
Okay, go
but
for
this
it.
one in particular stands out. Like I don't know what happened, and it bugs me every time I see it because as an editor.
Yeah.
But it's the scene where he has just created his suit, and his uncle has now been murdered at this point, and so his whole MO now at this point is he's trying to go out and look for his uncle's killer, right?
Okay.
And the uncle's killer has a particular description, like long hair, glasses, like, you know, that kind of stuff. And so
This is Garfield, you said, right?
this is Garfield.
Yeah,
So
okay.
there's a scene where there's a carjacker who's, it's late at night. The carjacker is breaking into a car. He gets in the car, and Spider-Man is already in the back seat. And then,
Okay, I think I remember.
and he
Okay.
reveals himself for the first time. And then the carjacker steps out, and then they have this little kind of interaction. And then there's a scene where Spider-Man, like the guy pulls out a knife on Spider-Man, and Spider-Man's like, "Oh my gosh, is that a knife? That's my one weakness, small knives or whatever." And he goes like that, and then he like fakes him out, and then he shoots a web at him, and the guy gets pinned to the wall, and then Spider-Man shoots a series of other webs, and there's
You're just like boom, 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 boom.
But then there's a weird cut that happens where it's like it's almost like they're missing a scene, and it like he jumps. It's just a weird jump cut.
Yeah.
Go watch it again, and you'll see what
So
you'll see.
because it's like in a parking lot, right?
It's in a parking lot, yeah. But there's
okay.
a weird editing mistake. It's a
Okay.
weird like jump cut that happens.
Okay.
And if you go and you watch that scene, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about when you see it.
So maybe they were like, they were filming it a certain way, and then they realized that, you know, this shot and this shot
Yeah.
didn't match. Like, okay, what's our solution?
Yeah,
here? We've already
can't-
finished shooting.
Yeah. Can't do anything about it now.
And it's not that I don't know how many production companies are using AI at this point now,
Yeah.
but it's not like they had anything like that at that
No.
point. It's your film was pretty much, obviously we had CGI and all that stuff then. But it's like that can only go so far.
Yeah.
They can't make something out of nothing.
Right.
So it's like, okay, what's the solution?
Exactly.
Editors?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why is this on me?
Yeah. It's like you guys shot it. Like what do you what do you want me to do?
Where's the rest of the footage?
Yeah. And that's exactly what happened. But then no one says, "Oh, that like." No one asks, "Oh, like why was that shot that way?" They always ask, "That was a weird edit."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like if you do a good job, nobody notices.
Yeah.
But if
It's
you
like,
do
oh, that
a
was
bad
a great
job,
movie.
it's a great movie.
It's like it wasn't edited
It's
well.
a great movie. Yeah, yeah. No one says that. So for me, not to say that I got into it with wanting that kind of like admiration or appreciation for what I did, but I realized that I was getting into it, I think, for the wrong reasons, and like I just wasn't fulfilled with like working under somebody or having a boss in a sense and having to follow orders. I'm not a guy who really takes to authority very well.
For sure. And it's not your work like you had said before,
Yeah.
right? So it's like on top of it not being your work, you now have somebody telling you not necessarily what to do.
Yeah.
Or sorry, not necessarily how to do it,
Yeah.
but what to do.
Yeah.
So like you said before, like don't add these transitions,
Yeah.
don't fade, don't do this. Like no, I need it to be cut. Add one little fade transition here because this is leading to this shot. That's it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all you're doing.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, sure.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, this is my film.
Yeah.
If you want to be on this project, and I'm not saying, hey, like that's not how it should be. Like, but
Yeah.
that's just how those jobs go.
Right.
For said companies, said production companies, said whoever you're working with, said
Right.
person, right? Like a director or producer can come to you and be like, hey, I love your editing. Jump on my project. But
Yeah.
jump on my project. It's not
Yeah.
your
No.
project. So it's
You
like,
still got to follow orders and do exactly what you're told, and you have very little creative freedom, if at all.
yeah. And even if they're being like, hey, I love your editing style, that doesn't mean like, oh, sweet, I got free reign to do it how I want. Like they might like your editing style and they might ask you to do it your style to an extent.
Yeah.
But they're going to see your edit and be like, okay, this is cool. But, I want you to change this, and this.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so you
Yeah.
don't like my editing style. It's like,
Yeah.
no, but I like that and this and that.
Yeah.
But like, make those changes.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
So you're just a drone, basically, just following orders,
Yeah.
and so.
So would it be safe to say though that this is really going back to the beginning of the question here? So would it be safe to say though that you originally got into film school to be an editor?
Yeah. So yeah, to answer your question, I just like going in. Yeah, I wanted to be an editor, but it didn't turn out the way I thought it was going to be.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
All right. So I guess best transition into, pun intended. So then going off of your story then, how does your story start then?
so my story starts actually. So as you know, like as we mentioned, I went to school for film and broadcasting at at Centennial College.
Yep.
Was was it a 3 or 4 year program? Do you remember?
3.
3 years? Yeah. So it
3
was,
if you passed everyone.
yeah, yeah. So I did not. So I
Same.
yeah. So I stayed a fourth year.
Yeah.
I stayed behind. And yeah. So I was in the film and broadcasting program, and in your last year, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, you have to go apply for an internship.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And so I was kind of excited because I was like, okay, like what was sold to me was you do your internship and then you get hired and you start working right away and you're in the
good,
industry.
you're
You're
set.
good. That's how they sell you the pipe dream. You know what I mean? And like you're all
remember that
excited and
conversation.
you know what I mean. And then so I was working at I don't remember how I got this internship, but it was a company called Frame Blender, and they were a private production company.
Okay.
And I was working there for my internship, and it was actually a really fun place to be. Like it was like all young guys,
Just hustling.
and like you know they were all cool. Like I just remember cracking jokes. I still have vlogs from like those moments. Like
Really?
oh yeah,
That's
yeah,
it.
like
Okay.
yeah. I don't talk to those guys much at all anymore, really. But they were cool. They made the work go by like super quick, and
That's
it was a good environment to be in.
Yeah.
And so I was interning there for the duration of my internship, and I'm getting super excited because I'm thinking I'm going to get hired afterwards.
start full time.
Yeah. And then I go to the I guess the owner of the company, and he's like, yeah, unfortunately we can't afford to keep you on staff. Like we don't have an opportunity to pay you.
Yeah.
So this is the end of the road for you, bud. And I was like,
Wait, what?
damn. So
That's not how this is working.
yeah. So, you know, good news is I got my credits for the internship. Bad news is I don't have a job. So I graduate, and at the time I was living with my dad, and he's like, okay, so now that you've graduated, you're not going to live here and not be working. So you need to get a job. And I'm actually taking you to the job fair out in Mississauga at Sears. And I'm like, great, that's perfect, Dad.
Do they need editors?
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'll be an editor for Sears, you know, make some commercials for them.
Yeah.
So we go to this job fair, and they basically hire me as a dispatcher. So basically, a dispatcher is someone who basically sends drivers out to do repairs for appliances. Because Sears was like, I was working at the head office of Sears. So
Okay.
basically, if you
In
buy
Mississauga?
in Mississauga, yeah.
okay.
So if you buy like an appliance from them, like a fridge or you know a microwave or whatever, and it breaks down or needs
Yeah.
maintenance, you call the company, and they send out one of the technicians to go out to the person's location and do the repairs or, you know, bring them a new replacement or
Yeah.
whatever, right? So I was in charge of that. So I basically, so I did the job fair, did the whole interview process, and got hired, unfortunately. And then I went through the whole there was like a 2-week training process to get us on board and whatnot. And I just remember like, it was like the atmosphere was just like, it was just gray walls. You're in this cubicle with this bullshit old school ass laptop that was
Headset?
slow. Yeah, the whole nine, man. The headset, you have to wear a suit and like a tie and
Because all the people that see you.
oh yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Like, and it was you have to swipe in to clock in and out, and yeah, you're in this cubicle, just looking at gray walls all day. You can't surf the internet for anything, so you're literally just staring at a computer doing like
What was it called? Not childproofing, but the businesses when they would like put like a lock on the internet, you can only look at certain things. Was it
parental.
pretty much like parental control? But like
Yeah.
there's like a business like version of it, so
Yeah.
it's like you can only search like certain websites that relate to your job.
Yeah, so like, and it was the computer was slow, so it was like even if you did have access, you're not getting very far.
One YouTube video
Right.
takes
And it
like
just-
the whole day to
It
load
blows up
up.
the entire computer, right? So I just remember, you know, I'm there and I'm driving to work. I have to wake up at like 5 in the morning every morning to get to work on time. I clock in at like 8, sign into my computer, and I'm making entries. Like that is basically data entry and dispatching, right? And so, you know, I just remember one specific day, I literally like clocked in at like 8 o'clock. I sit down at my desk, not even 15 minutes go by, my phone rings, and it's this old lady, and she calls me, or well, she calls the business, and I answer it, and she's just chirping my ear off. Like, no introduction. She's just like complaining about her fridge or some bullshit. Like, you know, like my fridge isn't working, and like Sears is like, this customer service is terrible, and you're such a bad business, and you're this and you're that. And I'm like, lady, my name is not Sears. I did not do this to you.
Hi, nice to meet you
Yeah.
as well. How may I help you?
You know what I mean? And she's just going on and on and on. And I'm like, I'm trying to answer her questions, and she's just literally like yelling in my ear. And it's not even 9 in the
those
morning
people.
yet. And I'm like,
They
all
just choose
this,
violence.
yeah, I'm like, all this for a damn fridge. She's just going on and on and on. And I'm like 3 weeks into this job. And then I remember one of the guys, like, during the training process, he was saying to me, like, we were talking, and I was like, how long you been here, man? He was an older guy, and he's just like, oh, I've been working here like 30 years. And I was like, oh my gosh. And so then I go back to this conversation, and I'm like, this girl's still yelling in my ear, and I'm like, do I really want to be doing this for 30 years in this? Like, this is my life. So I literally just like cut her off, and I'm like, can I just put you on hold 1 second while I talk to my supervisor? And I put her on hold. I hang up the phone. I sign out of my computer. I close the computer. I shut my light off. I walk to the place where you sign out. I swipe my card. I get in my car, and I drive, and I go on the highway, and I don't come back.
Love that.
And obviously, so I've pretty much just quit without actually saying that I've quit.
They're still probably wondering
yeah.
where you are.
Yeah, so you know what I
Girl,
mean?
does he know that Sears is closed now?
but
I hope
here's
he doesn't come.
Yeah, but here's the thing. So I can't go home because it's not even 9 o'clock yet, and my dad is gonna be like, "Why? What happened? Like, why are you not at work?" So I'm still in my Sears outfit, and I figure, okay, the only thing I can do right now to kill time is just go back to like the place where I did my internship. So I go to my internship place, and I'm like, hey guys, okay, so here's the situation. I'm like, I just quit my job, and I can't tell my dad because he's gonna be super pissed. So do you mind if I just come here every day for like 8 hours? I'll work for free, just until I figure stuff out. Can I just give me a place to lay low? And the employer at Frame Blender, he's like, you'll work here for free? And I'm like, yes.
Actually, we do have room for you.
I'm like, oh yeah, okay. Well, that spot just opened up. Yeah. So that's what that's literally what I did. I would act like I was going to work at Sears. So I would wear my suit, and then I'd bring a change of clothes, and I'd go to Frame Blender, and I'd work there for 8 hours for free, and then I'd come home. But what was interesting about this story is that obviously I couldn't do this for the rest of my life because I need to be bringing in some money, right? And
When
so,
you gonna start moving on with your life?
Yeah.
Well, I have $0.
Yeah, exactly, right? So it's eventually something's gonna give, right? Because it's I'm not bringing in any money, right? Yeah. So I remember watching this video on YouTube. It was a video of Jim Carrey on Oprah, and he was talking about the basically talking about the law of attraction and manifestation, and he was basically saying how he wrote himself a check for, I think it was $1 million.
I think I heard this. Yeah. I
He
think.
wrote himself a check for $1 million, and he put it in his wallet. And every day he would like look, he would like open it up and look at it. And over time, it deteriorated and like broke down and whatnot. But like he would just kind of envision himself like, you know, having $1 million, and like he'd go and he'd drive to like really rich areas, and he'd be like, okay, you know, I have all these things, they're just not in my possession yet, right? So I was like, oh, that's really interesting. I'm gonna do something like that. And so I get out my checkbook, and then, you know, I start to write, but then I'm like, $1 million's a bit of a stretch, you know. So I'm like,
$10.
Yeah, so let me start small and see if this thing works. So I write like $2,000, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm gonna write $2,000, and I just put it
Back
in my.
In the day too, though.
Yeah, I mean that's still
a
good.
lot.
That's
Like
still
nowadays, that's like, what is this gonna do for me?
Oh yeah, that's.
But then that's like 20 grand.
Oh yeah. So I was like, that's still a good chunk of change.
Yeah.
So I write this check, and then I put it in my wallet, and I do the same process. I follow suit just like Jim Carrey instructed. Every night, every morning, I'd open it up and I'd look at it, and I'd be like, okay, imagine myself spending it and whatnot. Still going to Frame Blender, working for free, doing all these events, and like having a great time still, right? And so then about maybe a month in to working at Frame Blender for free, I remember my boss, or the employer of Frame Blender, he calls me into the office, and I'm thinking, oh shit, I'm gonna get fired from a job that I'm not even working at technically. And so I go into his office, and he's like, okay, Andrew, have a seat. We got some stuff to talk about. So I'm like, okay. So he basically tells me, he's like, okay, I got some good news. The company has just got a really good opportunity that is going to allow us to be put on payroll. So we're going to have a consistent flow of money coming in, which is going to be really great for our business. So I'm thinking, oh, okay, that's great for everyone that's getting paid. You know what I mean? And
So
he's
happy for you.
Yeah, it was like, wow, thanks for bragging.
Yeah, you're really trying to rub this serious thing in, huh?
And then he's just like, I got a question for you though. How do you like working here? And I'm like, oh, I love it. I love you guys. You guys are amazing, and I just really appreciate you for, you know, allowing me to kind of like pretend to work here.
for
Well,
free.
I was actually doing stuff for them, but it was like, I was trying to avoid getting like chastised by my dad at the time. And so he's like, okay, well, if you really like working here, how would you like an official job title? And I'm like, oh, great. Like, what exactly does that mean? Like, do I get paid? And
Is
he's
this
just like,
real money?
Yeah. He's just like, yes, you will actually be technically an employee of mine. And so you will be getting like a regular, regular pay, right? And I was like, oh, okay, sick. That's amazing. And then he's just like, okay, so here's the better news for you. He's like, because I've already got the ball rolling on this, technically now that we're structured this way, I think he was saying something like along the lines of like, it's technically illegal for you to be working for free now. So he's like, I have to back pay you for all the time that you've worked here. So then guess how he wrote me a check, and guess how much he wrote me a check for?
No way, it was $2,000.
It's $2,000. $2,000 exact. And I was like, what the heck?
No.
I should have wrote a check for $1 million.
I knew I should have followed Jim Carrey.
I was like, why did I sell myself so short? But yeah, man, he wrote me a check for $2,000, and I just remember that moment, and I was just like, wow, that is incredible. And yeah, it was just kind of one of those moments, just going back to the theme of like, don't settle for what you can get, go after what you want. And you know, you kind of have to bet on yourself and just, you know, allow things to kind of work the way they will. And I think the lesson for me is, even if you don't know what you want to do in life, if you know what you don't want to do and you go in the opposite direction, eventually you'll find where you're meant to be. And that's ultimately where it led me to. So obviously I'm not with Frame Blender right now anymore, and I'm not even in the film industry anymore, but because I was constantly being put in situations that I didn't want to be in, and I knew this is what I didn't want to do. I knew I didn't want to have a boss. I didn't want to be micromanaged. I wanted to be able to have control creatively and also in terms of things that I do. And that's essentially what I'm doing now. I don't have a boss in my career as a massage therapist. I'm not being micromanaged, even at the place like that I'm working at. I'm a independent contractor, so I have free range to like treat my practice the way I want. Like I don't have anyone saying, okay, you have to treat people this way. Like my employer, he literally said, yo, if you're not doing all kinds of like crazy, like inventive stuff with your clients and experimenting, you're out of here. Like he legit said that to me. He was just like, I want you to be you. I want you to do things.
Okay. I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah, because it's like most
okay.
people, like when they come, it's like you have to like. There's a way that in which we do things here, and you have to follow this structure.
Okay, I was.
But he was but he was the other way. He was like, I want you to think different. I want you to. He's like, at the end of the day, as a massage, you're not a massage therapist. You're an artist. And he's like, you know that because you truly were an artist at one point in terms of your dance and the film stuff. It's like, so it's like, just because you're not doing that stuff now doesn't mean that you've lost that stuff. He's like, I want you to take what you've learned from all of those experiences and now try to shape it and mold it into your current practice. So you always live with that creative sense of accomplishment, right? And so I really don't have any regrets in terms of the things that I did, even though I'm not using them anymore. Like film, some people would say, oh, that was a waste of 3 years. Well, 4 because I failed. But
don't worry, I did too.
4 years, waste of 4 years because you're not in film, you're not doing it anymore, right? Yeah. But I was able to edit all my own YouTube videos, my videos now, because I know I have the knowledge, right? And then in terms of dance, like no one does animal flow the way that I do animal flow. And I'm not trying to like sound cocky or toot my own horn, but I'm just, I bring my own unique style to animal flow. I did, going back to what we said off air about, there's technique and then there's freedom from technique. I've adopted that mentality of like, I learn the technique and then I stray from it, but not forgetting the technique.
Yeah.
I make sure that I add my own creative expression, expressing myself honestly, and I owe that to my dance background.
Honestly, when I watch those videos, like, I get confused at points because, like, obviously I don't know the background animal flow. Yeah. But when I watch it, like, I'm thinking I'm jumping into like a dance video because you're going. I'm just like, oh, that's sick. Oh, that's it. But then you'll move a certain way, and I'm like, okay, that's animal flow, because like I don't know what that is. Right. I've never seen you do that when we've done performances. Yeah. But then you'll do something else, and it's like, ooh, okay, there's some dance, there's some dance, there, and it's just like sporadically throughout. Like I see it. So, and again, I've never researched animal flow. I've never seen anybody else do it, but I could 100% tell you, like guaranteed, I'm not going to find somebody that does it like you. And I'm not saying like you're the best, you're the worst, you're totally in the middle.
I'm definitely not the best.
No, and I would, because again, I don't know that industry like you, but I would be like, however they would be able to do it, if I was to like just see, even like if somebody knew exactly how you would do it and like you taught them to a point and they would do like the dance style. Yeah. And it was just like somebody random and then somebody else taught somebody else. Yeah. And then they both did it and they're like, okay, so which one did he teach? I would be able to be like, that's Tactix right there. 100% right there. Because of that specific style that I don't think anybody would be able to replicate. And again, not saying because they aren't as good or, they're on such a high level, they wouldn't be able to alter I'm not saying anything like that. It's just like your style is your style. Right. Whether the level of it is, it's you. Yeah. And nobody would be able to take that away or replicate that.
Absolutely. I'm the best at being me and no one can be better than me.
Exactly. Yeah. And you can only just level up.
I can just level up, right? And that's the thing. And so when I talk about my style with animal flow, it's not from the standpoint of like me being better than anybody else, because there are people in the animal flow community that I watch all the time that I'm super inspired by, and I'm like, damn, like I look at him, I'm like, yo, like that's some sick style, right? And like
Yeah.
I'm inspired by that.
Yeah,
I'm
and that's
never
what
looking
betters you.
exactly, right? And it's the same in terms of like how you like viewed me at one point, and where you're like, oh, he's competition. I gotta like
Yeah,
level up.
yeah.
And not to toot your horn, but man, you like, bro, like you've come such a long way. Because I remember when you first started
Oh my god.
to then when you started learning that bone breaking shit, and I was just like, I quit, bro. I like, where do you go from that? Like the only way I can compete with that is if I break something during breakdancing and make it
I
a
was gonna say
literal
literally.
thing. Yeah, like make it a literal thing. So yeah, and I mean, I think that's how we should view competition, is in a way of like leveling up. It's like I attribute it to like, and this might kind of be a toxic relationship in a way, but also healthy competition. But like Michael Jackson and Prince, the way they viewed themselves, where it was like, on the surface they were like adversaries and like, going at each other quite
Of course.
extensively, but
I'm the best. I'm the best.
but at its core, they both had respect for each other, and both of them had appreciation for the other person's artistry, and it allowed them to level up their own game, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like, if you're not looking up to somebody in that light, and they're not keeping you on your toes, then you're not really evolving, right? Because it's like,
If they didn't have that competition of each other,
yeah,
and I'm not saying this could have happened or would have happened, but like they could have plateaued, right?
absolutely, yeah,
Right? It was just like, well, like, I've already done everything that I've wanted to do, and like
Exactly.
I've done the halftime show for the Super Bowl.
Right.
I've performed in every single big arena across the world.
Right.
So, and every festival and every whatever. So it's like I don't really need to do anything else. Like I'm
Yeah.
already filthy rich.
yeah,
I own 18 homes. Like, what else is there to do?
Yeah.
But then, Michael Jackson's looking at Prince. Prince is now, doing a different style of concerts.
yeah,
And he's like, okay, Michael Jackson's like, okay, well then I'm going to do that.
right,
And then it's then vice versa. Like Prince seeing Michael Jackson, like, oh, he just came down from the freaking sky,
Yeah.
dropped onto the stage. Like, okay, he wants to get creative like that. Okay, cool. I'm going to find something to do.
yeah, and you keep leveling up.
Yeah.
And it keeps you on your toes. I think it gets. There's a thin line, because ultimately it is comparison, and like as they say, comparison is a thief of joy, and it can really mess you up if you allow it to, right?
Gosh, yeah.
But there's also a positive spin on that, in the sense of it allows you to level up. And if you look at it, it's like, there's a book that I read called Steal Like an Artist, and it's a very, very fascinating book. It's a very easy read, and is mostly like images and stuff.
Had me at easy and images.
Yeah. It's a very
no words.
very, very, very simple. Like you could get through it in a day. But I think every artist should read this book. It's Steal Like an Artist. And there's one chapter where he talks about taking elements from different people. It's kind of similar to like what Bruce Lee would always preach about, like take what's useful, discard what's not, and make what's uniquely your own.
Okay.
It's he kind of pitches it in a way of like creating your family tree, like not in a literal sense, but more so it's like in terms of like for you with dancing, where it was like, okay, like you take elements of Michael Jackson's dance style, and then you take elements of Chris Brown's dance style, and then and then you basically create an amalgamation of like all these different styles to make your own unique style.
Fair, yeah, okay.
And this is all based off of like comparison, right? So it's like you're comparing this artist to this artist, and this artist to this artist, and it's like, what are the good elements that I can extract from this and make what's uniquely my own style?
For sure, yeah. No, and funny enough, you bring that up, especially with like comparison. Like now that I kind of did like the similar thing with you. I was dancer. I started thinking basketball was going to be like my thing. NBA, all this stuff. Then I went into like the and one like tricks thing. I'm like, I'll make that my thing.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, clearly neither of these things are going to be a career for me.
Yeah.
And then dance came into it. Wasn't sure what dance could do. And then obviously the careers that we had with dance. I was still leaning then off and on with photography, film, all
Yeah.
that stuff. More so film, and then I transitioned more into photography. But nowadays, just to fast forward now, it's like, okay, so I do photography, film full time, but I would constantly compare myself to other photographers, videographers. I see what they do, I see who they're working with, the gigs that they get, and I was like, what the heck? I'm like, not to say like, hey, I can do their work or that should be me, but I was just constantly like, crap, like, how am I not getting gigs like this?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I should be replacing these people. It's just like, how do I not get these offers as well?
Yeah.
And I'm like, why do I feel like I'm here with my career and like I don't feel like I'm leveling up. I don't feel like I'm getting stuff to bring myself higher in the game. So I would always compare myself, and it was like that was like my downfall for the longest time.
Yeah.
And it was such a crappy feeling because it's like, yeah, you feel like, again, not that other people shouldn't be getting these opportunities, but like, man, like,
Why not me?
yeah,
Yeah.
why are just these people getting all these cool opportunities? They're traveling, they're shooting these concerts, they're doing photo shoots for so and so, and it's like, I can do these things too. And again, I'm not saying better, or worse,
Yeah.
but just like I know I can do what is that they shot or whatever. So I was just constantly comparing myself, and one day it was just like a snap. I'm like, why am I doing that? Why am I torturing myself? Like, it's just, I feel like it's scarring my craft because I'm constantly like beating myself, being like, hey, you need to do something to get there, to be the one getting offered all these things.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I don't. I'm like, I just need to keep doing my thing, stop comparing myself. And if these opportunities present, I'm not trying to say I stopped hustling, because in our industries, the hustle never stops.
No.
We always have to look for the next best thing, but it's like, try and be more natural with it now.
Yeah.
Do your thing, create your content, create whatever it is, do gigs, whatever for other people, photo shoots, music videos, whatever, and let those opportunities come to you. Like, let those people see your work,
Right.
see what you can do, see what you bring to the table. And then if they're like, oh crap, like, hey, you can do this, or he's worked with so and so, or he shoots this kind of style, I want to use them. It's like, cool, great. I had this opportunity come to me. I didn't beg for it. I didn't like try and take out another photographer, videographer for this. It's like, no, like, and again, that's always a hustle. That's always going to happen regardless. Like, either way, you're technically taking a gig from somebody else.
Yeah.
Whether somebody already had it or they were just looking for something, you just happened to get it, right? Because either way, if it's not going to you, they're going to find another photographer to do it, right? So it's just like, at least you know that they came to you and they loved what they saw. So that was a harsh reality, because like then like I had to like switch everything up. So I get what you mean by just, it's truly a switch that isn't the easiest to flick on and off.
Totally. Like, it reminds me of what Anthony Mackie once said in one of his interviews recently.
I love him.
Oh yeah, he's such a hilarious guy. But he said, success isn't earned, it's given. And that really struck a chord with me, because what he meant by that is that, you could hustle and work hard and put in all this effort, and you could be the best at what you do, but sometimes your best isn't good enough. And it's more so, it's not what you know, it's who you know, right?
Oh, 100%.
So you could be the best photographer, have the best photo portfolio and all that stuff, but the next guy who probably just knows all the right people gets your job. And it's not because he's better than you, it's just because he knew the right people or he was in the right place at the right time. And that's the thing. It's like, for me,
Or great personality.
that's part of it too.
That goes a long
But
way.
it's like a lot of my opportunities when I think back to it is like, yeah, I had to develop certain skills in order to get the opportunities that I got. But
Liam Neeson.
yeah, a certain set of skills, right? But like take the Geek Freaks for example, and that whole Much Music thing, right?
Yeah.
It was like I got to go on Much Music for a second time, even though it was a disaster.
Don't know what you mean by that.
For me anyway. Y'all had a great time.
As much as like we didn't physically get hurt, that whole moment, even the moment before you
Yeah.
even had to do the flip, remember the wrong song played?
Oh yeah.
Like from that moment.
I mean, I would have much rather have that.
No,
Y'all trying to downplay.
No. I will never try and downplay that moment because again, that video will forever make me laugh. But
my
like,
ass still hurts, bro. My tailbone has
still
never been the same, bro. Like,
but like from that moment when they didn't play the right song,
yeah.
I was already in my head. I was like, oh my gosh, like they had to just jump to commercial break for us. That's not supposed to happen.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I don't really remember that part. I just remember.
I mean, yeah,
but yeah,
understandable.
sure. I'll take your word for it.
Oh, that happened?
It's like,
Don't remember.
all I remember is the first move of our routine, and I fucked it up.
Maybe we'll show that.
yeah. Poor man, that was such a bad moment. But
Like it was on national TV.
yeah. Oh man, jeez. Oh, good times. Good times.
Well, thank you very much for coming here and joining the first episode of Behind the Mic.
This was fun, man. I appreciate you having me on for the very first episode. This was awesome and pleasure to be on here and chat with you. And yeah, man.
Oh, I thank you again. This has been amazing. And before we go, is there anything you would like to shout out to the people, promote, any businesses, any gigs you got coming up?
No. Oh, actually, I'm doing an event. I wish I remembered like the location, but it's happening November 8th. It's part of a crew, like a team that I'm working with, called The Collective.
Okay.
And it's basically.
Sorry, I'm only laughing because, sorry, so this probably is going to be New Year's.
Oh,
Sorry, yeah.
Okay,
So
never mind.
When you said the date, I was like, oh shit. I'm like, how do I break this to him?
No worries. Okay. In terms of what we'll recut that. So, what am I working on right now? Honestly, at the moment right now, I'm working on an online course. It's a mobility course that I'm going to be promoting to my clients, but also, people that are just looking to get mobile and, improve their range of motion. And so I'm going to try and roll that out in the new year at some point.
Okay.
Aside from that, the only thing I'd feel like I need to promote is my website. You can find all my stuff there. So flowbody.co. Unfortunately, I couldn't get .com. So it's flowbody.co.
Okay.
You can find all my services and more information about me there. And then my Instagram is @TactDivision.
Okay. Amazing.
And TikTok. You can find me on TikTok. Same name too. Yeah.
TikTok definitely check out too because he's got a lot of motivational stuff there.
Yeah, I think I'm going to be a little bit more active on TikTok as opposed to Instagram in the new year. Still want to do some stuff on Instagram, but I just find TikTok leaves me less depressed, if I'm being completely honest.
I get you.
Yeah, so TikTok seems to be more of a safe place for me.
Yeah, for sure. No, and I'll throw all of the handles up here so you can see all of them and find the links. But other than that, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, man.
And This has been a pleasure.
Yeah, likewise, man. Hopefully I can be back. If you guys like it, then like request me back.
Hey, and he's got some more stories.
I got way more stories, man. So
I'll get him on to do one of the funnier ones next time.
the much music, we'll have to get more into that story. I've made peace with that traumatic experience.
He should be able to talk about it now.
My therapist says it's okay.
It's been over a decade. You should be able to talk about it now.
I'm healed now. I am delivered.
Oh, jeez. All right, man. Well, thank you so much. And that is Behind the Mic. And peace.
5 hours later.
Behind the mic, your story's on the other side.